Hello everybody, it's June 13th, 2023. Sorry for the delay here. I was supposed to do a video yesterday and it just completely fell out of my mind. So anyway, I'm better late than never. I'm going to do it now. So first we're going to take a look at what I said on Friday. So we were looking at the two possibilities. One, we could potentially move back up towards 28K, or just break below 25.5 and then head sub 25. Either one led here. I mean, that's the most important thing, is that I still expect sub 25K at this point. Now, we did see 25.5 break briefly, but we did not see a sustained break below that. So we're still kind of in this same scenario, to be perfectly honest. It's just chopping around right now. There was a very unlikely bullish scenario. If it can form 5 ways up to 30K, we'll take a look at that, see if that's still possible at all. But at this point, I am still looking at lower to come. It's just a matter of what path it takes to get there. So here we are on the Bitcoin chart. And you can see we are just shy still of hitting this ideal target area down here in this yellow box for this to complete, in the best case scenario, a WX and Y before heading higher. I'm not 100% convinced that is actually going to happen. It is equally likely, in my opinion, that it continues downwards instead. But yellow is the only bullish scenario we have, so I'm tracking that, and we'll just have to wait and see if it ends up playing out. But you know, this could easily be, I mean, honestly, the bears really haven't given us an impulse down, but it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, like it could give us a diagonal 5 waves down, and then it'll bounce and then go down. So lots and lots of chop still to come, pretty much in any case. In a bearish case, it's likely to be choppy. In the bullish case, it's likely to be choppy as well. We really just have to wait and see how this zone reacts, and then do we get a decent bounce from there, or do we just get another 3-wave move, which would indicate we have lower than to go. So that's really what we're looking for in the larger sense. Let's go down to the micro here. So I was looking at the time at this being potentially ABC before heading down there. Obviously, at the time I also said it could just start breaking down, and if it breaks down below 25.5, you know, sustains below it, then we'll anticipate that this just heads straight down. So of course, being Bitcoin, it didn't do either one of those things. It came back down, tested those lows again, and now is just chopping upwards. There is nothing bullish about this action, though. That is incredibly choppy. 3-wave moves. That's not to say we're not going to go up higher. We certainly could. But it is to say I don't anticipate that it leads to a sustained bull run. So what do we expect? Well, at this point, I think the most reasonable interpretation still is this. Here we have A, B, C for a W. And then basically this, instead of this being A, B, C, like that, we're basically getting a flat correction, A, B, and C. So I think, you know, kind of testing these highs again seems quite reasonable to me. We're going to delete this, and we're going to pull a new fib extension for whatever it's worth, which may or may not be too much, but this should give us a danger zone anywhere in this region. So again, we can push towards 28K, and it can still be part of this X of the larger Y before heading down in Y of Y. And so that's kind of what I'm anticipating at this point in time, since we haven't been able to break down even this big candle here. We have not been able to see a sustained breakdown. And then on top of that, we've got this 4-hour RSI breaking out here of the downward trend line. So I would imagine that we would at least come up and test, you know, a bit higher here on the 4-hour RSI before dying again. So I do lean short-term bullish, but that doesn't mean that I'm trading it. That is just kind of for my own knowledge, for my own benefit, saying, yeah, I anticipate that we're probably going to go up a little bit higher, somewhere in here. 27.4, right about where that A topped out, is the ideal 1.0 zone, but it could push a little higher and try to take out some stops, of course. And then, you know, beyond that, honestly, it could even just reset this X. Like, we could say, hey, maybe this isn't W here. Maybe W is actually over here. Maybe this is doing W, X, and Y, right? Either way, we're taking a look at this micro and saying we do not have an impulsive move off of the low. It is not a good basis for a bull run to form, and therefore we have to anticipate that almost no matter what happens, we still anticipate lower. We can honestly get even back up into 30K, and this could still be WXY, right? Going back to 30K doesn't necessarily mean that we are doing something bullish, unless we somehow did an impulse. And at this point in time, to do an impulse, the only way it could do it really is to break these lows. So it would require another just fake out breakdown and then shoot 5 waves up. In that case, there might be a bullish scenario at play, but as of right now, I do not view that as a high likelihood. So my main danger zone we're looking for here is 26.6 to 27.9, give or take. And we'll just have to wait and see. Tomorrow is FOMC meeting, where the Fed is going to decide on another interest rate hike or pause, or in a very crazy world, you know, potentially cut, but I don't see that happening. The market right now is pricing in, I think last time I looked, somewhere around an 85% probability that they will pause the rate hikes. But in a scenario where they hike again, we can anticipate that Bitcoin and risk assets in general will plummet. If they happen to hike again tomorrow, which is certainly possible, I think more possible than the market is giving credit for, honestly. But the other way that we can see this dump based on, you know, the news, obviously I don't play charts, you know, based on what I think the news is going to be. I play them based on what they're telling me, what the price action tells me. But if the Fed were to pause the hikes, but then say in the press conference that they intend to raise going forward, or kind of, you know, indicate that they might raise again going forward at future meetings, then we will also see dumping happen there, based on that. So, and that's kind of what I anticipate. I anticipate one of those scenarios will come to play. Or, you know, maybe they pause and they say that they're going to pivot, but the market just dumps anyway because everybody expects it to pump if the Fed, you know, starts pivoting. And the market really just likes to screw over as many people as possible. So that's certainly a possibility as well. So all of that being said, stay safe tomorrow. It's going to be a crazy day potentially, at around, you know, 2 p.m. and then I think the press conference is what, 3, something like that. So yeah, going to be an interesting day tomorrow. Stay safe in any positions that you have, and beware that I do anticipate, even if we go higher, that we will then go even lower to sub 25K. All right, guys, I'll catch up with you again on Friday, and we'll see where we're at then.